Okay, let's take a look at these final three examples in the differential equations packet. Number 25, consider the differential equation dy dx is equal to x over y. Find y equals f of x, the particular solution, with the initial condition of f of negative 3 is equal to negative 2, and we're going to state the domain of that function. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. First step, again, as we always said, separate the variables. Then we're going to go ahead and antiderive both sides, find the constant of integration, use the initial condition to find the function, and then finally get the domain. So we're going to go ahead and multiply both sides by dx, and we'll multiply both sides by y. So I end up getting, in this case, y times dy is equal to x times dx. We'll go ahead and integrate both sides, or antiderive both sides. So I get 1/2 y squared is equal to 1/2 x squared plus c. Now let's use that initial condition, that when x is negative 3, y is equal to negative 2. So I have 1/2 times negative 2 squared is equal to 1/2 times negative 3 squared plus c. So negative 2 squared is 4, half of 4 is 2, negative 3 squared is 9, times 1/2 is 9/2 plus c. We'll go ahead and subtract. This is 4/2. Take away 9/2 gives us a constant of negative 5/2. So my function becomes, replacing the constant of integration, becomes 1/2 y squared equals 1/2 x squared minus 5/2. Multiply everything by 2, gives us y squared equals x squared minus 5. Now when I go to take the square root, that's going to give me a y on this side, and that's either going to equal positive or negative x squared minus 5. So the question is, when I use this initial condition, will I want positive x minus 5 or negative x minus 5? So let's just go ahead and write it. So I'm going to get y is equal to either the square root of x squared minus 5, or y is going to equal the negative square root of x squared minus 5. But again, negative 3, negative 2 is on which function? So let's try. If I plug negative 3 in here, I get negative 3 squared is 9, minus 5 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2, not negative 2. Here, negative 3 squared is 9, minus 5 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2, but we're taking the opposite of that. So this is the function we want, not this one here. So we have y equals negative the square root of x squared minus 5. Now, in this case here, our domain is going to be, well, if this is regular algebra 2 finding the domain, then we would say that x squared minus 5 must be greater than or equal to 0. So that means x squared must be greater than or equal to 5. So therefore, x is greater than the square root of 5, or it's less than the negative square root of 5. And we know from our initial condition that x is negative 3. So therefore, this is the piece of the function that we want. So our domain is that x is less than or equal to the negative square root of 5. So this is one of those questions where we needed to entertain the initial condition here to help us decide which piece of the function we want, or which function we want. And then down here we needed to entertain it as well to help us find the domain.